StrayAllDay.com.
Tuned into the show, you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. What is that? That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques, all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is the main things that your business needs. But before we get started into this topic, let me remind everybody, or if you're new, let me inform you that I send out this text message every morning. It's called the Daily Motivation. It's guaranteed to have you focused, sharp, and on point to start your day. Yes, guaranteed. All you have to do to receive this message is text me at my number, which is 305-384-6894. And every morning when I send out the Daily Motivation text, you and everyone else who is a part of my texting community will receive a message straight from that number that I just gave you, where you will get that message, that daily motivation. It'll be marked daily motivation, so you know it's coming from me, and you can just save my number so you know that it's coming every single day straight to your phone. You can even respond to those text messages, and same way you respond to anybody else's text messages, you might even get a response from me, because I do actually go through my texts and respond to people's messages every day. So again, that number down below in the description. Secondly, Work on Your Game University. That is the place where you work with me directly. I get people asking me often, Dre, do you have any kind of courses or training programs or anything like that? Is there any way I can be coached by you? Do you have group programs? Do you do anything like that? The answer is yes, I have all of those things, and they are all in one place. It's called Work on Your Game University. The way you can see how to get started and become a member of the university is by going to workonyourgameuniversity.com. Again, that's workonyourgameuniversity.com. Anything you hear me talk about here on this show, you can be coached by me in at Work on Your Game University. Mindset, strategies, systems, execution, people skills, selling yourself, your mindset around money and how you are operating and doing business. If you're just getting started in business, if you are seasoned in business, if you just want some help with how you're going about things personally, maybe business is not the biggest thing you have an issue with right now. Maybe it's more mindset, maybe it's more discipline, maybe it's more like your business is going great, but because your business is going so great, you've been sacrificing your personal stuff. Maybe it's your relationships, you've been sacrificing your health, you've been sacrificing just taking care of yourself, and you need someone to hold you accountable and help you put a system in place so you can stop doing that and you don't sacrifice yourself in exchange for your business. Maybe that's one of your needs. I work with people who have that exact need. It's not even a money or a business thing, it's a personal thing. Maybe for some of you, it's not a personal thing at all, it's a business thing. You gotta get the business stuff in order. You would love to have the problem of having so much business going on that you've been sacrificing your personal stuff and you want the business thing happening. Come to Work on Your Game University. I can help you. We can have a conversation. Let's find out where you're at, what you need. If we can help you, I'll tell you how and what it will look like and how it will work. Just go to workonyourgameuniversity.com and we take the next step from there. With all that said, let's get into today's topic. So yesterday's episode was about what are the things you don't want to focus on in business. Today, we're going to kind of go to a little bit of a conversing point, if that's the right word. An opposite point, let's just say that. Somewhat of an opposite point. The main things that you need when you are in business. Now, as you build your business, there are many things that could distract you. They could take you off track, throw you off, and have you chasing down leads, so to speak, that don't need to be chased. So today's masterclass is about simplifying things and keeping you focused on the main things that matter most for having and running a business. So this one is going to be more on a tactical level. This is not a mindset level. This is more of a tactical level. These are things that you need to be doing on a consistent basis or continuing to have and build and nurture in order for you to keep running your business the way that it needs to be run. So with all that said, let's get into it. Point number one, topic once again, is the main things, plural, that your business needs. Number one, your business needs a list, L-I-S-T. A list of what? What is a list? All the money is in the list. Any of you who has been in the marketing space or entrepreneurial space for a while may have heard this saying before. If not, then you can just attribute it to me if you decide to ever use it. All the money is in the list. What does this mean? And what is a list? A list is the direct contact information of people who are interested in or already have possibly giving you money. And this contact information is not information that you just go steal from somebody's database. This is information that people actually give you voluntarily because they want to hear from you. So the contact information that compiles a list is some way to contact the person. So if you meet somebody in the street, you want to stay in touch with them, and y'all exchange information. What information do you need in order to reach that person again? You may want something like an email address. Maybe you get their physical address. Maybe you get their phone number. Those, for the most part, those are the three ways that you can contact the person other than actually seeing them in person. Those are the three ways you can reach them, right? If I know your email address, I can email you. I know your physical address, I can either drop by your home or I can mail something to you. And if I got your phone number, I can call or text you, all right? So if you have that piece of information from people who want to give you money or could possibly give you money sometime in the future, they are compiling your list. So if you have 10 people who've given you that information voluntarily, you have a 10-person list. So when somebody says, how big is your list? That's what they're talking about. So when I talk to someone, they ask me, Dre, how big is your list? I tell them. Currently, my list is about 50,000. That's 50,000 people who have given me either their physical address, their phone number, or their email address because they either have already or they could at some point give me money. All right, that's how I got their information in the first place. So they gave me that in exchange for something. That's how I got their information, which gives me the opportunity to communicate with them and tell them what it is that I have going on. That's all a list is. Now, there are many different ways to build a list. You can actually buy a list. You can pay for access to somebody else's list. So let's just say I want to sell a basketball program. I could go to some basketball influencer, some current basketball influencer, and pay them and say, hey, look, let me send an email to everybody on your list. And they'll tell me, well, Dre, my list is 20,000 people. I'll say, all right, I'll pay you $2,000 and I'll send an email. I'll write the email. I'll give it to you. You send it. But it's all going to be my words with my signature on it. And it's going to go to your list and people will buy. And he doesn't get a commission because I already paid him for access. Or we could do it the other way, sir, Mr. Basketball Influencer. You send the email, I don't pay you, but you get an affiliate link inside that email and you get a percentage of every sale that comes through. Or, hey, they might say, Dre, I want both. I want you to pay me and I get a percentage. And depending on how we negotiate, maybe we'll work that out. But this is just an example. So that's what a list is. That's all a list is, okay? You have one of those things, you have a list. Now understand, you can go through your contacts in your phone right now. You got a whole bunch of people's phone numbers and email addresses and physical address. Does that make a list? No. That doesn't make a list because those people didn't give you their information because they wanted you to market to them. They gave you the information because they're cool with you or they know you or they went on a date with you. That doesn't count. I'm talking about for business purposes specifically. They know it's business, you know it's business, and there's no gray area for it. So the people that the 25 girls or guys that you dated over the last 3 years do not count as your list. I'm talking about people who gave you information for business specifically. Now you might be wondering, Dre, you forgot about the person's name. You don't necessarily need somebody's name to have a list because I got a bunch of people on my list who I don't have their names, but I do have their email addresses so I can contact them. I don't really need their names. You can buy something from me without me ever even knowing your name. As long as I don't have to physically mail you anything. Now if I got to mail you something, we'll ask you for your name when you place the order. But you can buy something from me that's digital. I don't need to know your name, all right? As long as my payment processor can capture your payment information and we got your email address so we can send you a receipt, it's all good. All right? You don't have to tell me your name. Maybe you want to remain anonymous. All good with me. So names you don't necessarily need a name, and no, a name alone is not a list, by the way, because you can't contact somebody just by their name. You need some actual way of reaching them. So if you go to the mall, for example, again, meet a girl, and she tells you her name, but she won't give you her phone number. Can you follow up with her in a conversation? No, because now she walked away. You went that way, she went the other way. You don't have any contact information. You may never see that girl again and may never speak to her again. So it's the same thing with your customers and your prospects. You have to capture some type of contact information. So this is called permission marketing. When someone gives you their contact information and they know you're going to follow up and they know you're going to reach out to them, they're giving you permission to market to them. That's called permission marketing. So if they have not given you permission by giving you the contact information, that means they can't go on your list. And if you get somebody's contact information and they have not given you permission and you reach out to them, there's a word for this. It's called spam, S-P-A-M. Any of you ever marked an email as spam? All you have email inboxes, right? You know, when you go to the spam folder and you see a whole bunch of messages that look like there's some type of scams, and every once in a while, or maybe more often than not, maybe more often than it used to be, let's say, there may be a legitimate message that got put in your spam folder because the AI, the artificial intelligence of the email inboxes, are scanning your email and trying to figure out, is this real? Is this legitimate mail or is it spam mail? Spam is one of the definitions of spam, is when you send a message to people who did not give you permission to market to them, but you got their contact information and you try to market and sell to them anyway. You get spam. They call them emails being marked as spam. And if that happens too often to you when you're sending marketing emails, your email address that you're sending emails from could actually be blocked by the government and powers that be because you are spamming people. So that's considered, generally, if you do way too much of it, it could actually be considered a crime. Now, usually you're not going to go to jail for it, but you could get your email address blacklisted and blocked, and you won't be able to send emails and things like that. These days, they have spam text messages too. And if you get those spam texts from maybe a political campaign or somebody trying to get you to call some number, or they claim that you won some prize and all that kind of stuff, all of that is spam. So this is why when you sign up for things or you buy things, you notice that every website or sales funnel that you go through usually asks you for some contact information before they even let you complete the purchase. You got to give them some information. We need your phone number, we need your billing address, we need your shipping address, we need your email address, we need your name, we need all that information. One reason is they also have to verify that the card that you're using to pay is actually yours, so you're not committing no wire fraud by using somebody else's payment information to buy stuff for yourself, but also because they're capturing your info so that they can market to you again in the future. So anywhere that you bought from, you think of big department stores, you think of a Target, a Walmart, Whole Foods, Nordstrom, Bloomingdale's. I buy from these places. I get emails from these companies like every day. They're always emailing me. Why? Because they have my information. Why? How do they get my information? Because I gave it to them. Why? Because I've been their customer. And that means what? That means I'm on their list. I've given them my information. So they always ask for this. They want your name, phone number, home address, email address, sometimes all of the above. Even when you go to stores and buy things physically, you'll notice a lot of times when you check out at the register at certain stores, especially like retail department stores, oftentimes the person at the register is usually supposed to ask you for some contact information. What's your phone number? Now you can decline. You can say, I don't want to give my phone number, or I don't want to give my email address. You can decline and they won't take it. And sometimes they won't even ask. If they don't ask, usually because they're just not doing their damn job, but they're supposed to ask. Why? Because the companies understand the value of collecting contact information. And every business runs on the list. All right, so what does this mean? It means that you, business owner, needs to be adding to your list on a consistent basis. Now, there are many strategies for adding to your list. Now, at Work on Your Game University, I can talk to you about what those are and how they can work for your specific business, because it's not just about collecting as many as you possibly can. You want to collect the type of people who are actually interested or could be interested in what you're offering. So you don't want to be adding people to your list who are not actually interested in your thing. So if you're a basketball influencer, going back to our example there, you don't want to be adding a bunch of people to your list who have no interest in basketball, because then you just built up a big list and you're reaching out to these people to no effect because they're not interested in the thing that you're selling. So you want to be adding the right people to your list. And if you're selling products that cost 10 to 20 bucks, your list is probably going to be a lot bigger than that of somebody who's selling things that cost 10 to 20,000 bucks, because there are fewer people who are willing to make that spend, but the smaller list may be worth more because of the ROI on every transaction that can possibly come from that. So again, there's a lot of intricacies and details that can go into list building, but the general idea you need to get here from point number one is that you need to have a list, period. Point number two, today's topic once again is the main things that your business needs. Number two, you need a core offering. What is a core offering? You can have 1,000 SKUs in retail space. SKU is SKU. That stands for stock keeping unit. In other words, every item that your business sells has a SKU. It's basically like, you know, when you go to a retail store and you buy something, they have a little scanner and it beeps. So it goes through the register and it says what it is and the price. That's the stock keeping unit. In other words, that's how a business keeps track of every product that they have. So when somebody goes to the register and buys it, inventory notices, the whole system lets inventory know, all right, we just sold 3 of these widgets, so that means we have 3 less of them available. And then there may be a trigger that says, okay, when we get under this many, we need to order some more because we're running out. Or we have a whole bunch of these and they've been sitting there for months, let's put them on sale so we can get rid of them and bring some new stuff in. So an SKU, some people will just call it a SKU. In retail, people call it a SKU, but the word is SKU, or the acronym SKU stands for stock keeping unit. You can have 1,000 of these in your business. Let's take a company like Walmart, Amazon, Nike. They have thousands of these, thousands of items for sale. But for you, since you're not them, and also with them, most of them have this, not all of them, but most of them. What is the core thing that somebody needs from your thing? What's the core thing you want them to get from your thing? Let's look at a couple companies. What's Amazon's core offering? Anybody know? Many of you are customers of it. Amazon's core offering is Amazon Prime. Yes, you could buy anything on Amazon, pretty much anything. It's literally called the everything store. Their core offering is they want to get you on Amazon Prime, because once you get on Amazon Prime, what happens? Then you're probably going to keep buying stuff from Amazon. Anytime you need to buy anything that Amazon sells, you'll probably look to Amazon first. Why? Because you already bought Prime, so you might as well use it and get that free 2-day shipping, or nowadays you get it the same day, 1 day, whatever it is. The core offering is Amazon Prime, and it's a repeatable thing. So you pay over and over again, year after year. That's what Amazon wants everybody on, is Amazon Prime. What's Apple's core offering? Most of you own this too. This is the phone. The iPhone is Apple's core offering. It's not that you can't sell other things, but that's their core offering. What's Dre Baldwin's core offering? You should know, because I already told you about it today. I tell you about it every day. It's Work on Your Game University. That's the core thing that I want to get you into. Work on Your Game University. Ideally, whatever your core offering is, it's a recurring purchase offering. That simply means something that people pay for over and over again. So Amazon, for example, it's a membership. Prime is a membership. Every year you renew and pay again for Amazon Prime, and every few years that price goes up. I remember when Amazon Prime was $79. Now it's like double that. I think around double that. Apple's iPhone is not a membership. Actually, they do have a membership for iPhone. They have, I think it's iPhone for Life. I don't know what they call it now. It may be still called iPhone for Life, where you basically never actually own the phone. You just have you basically rent the phone from Apple. You pay a little bit extra every month for the phone rental, and then every 12 or 24 months, you can just trade it in for the new phone, because Apple is basically betting on the fact that you're always going to want an iPhone, and they are betting on the fact that they're always going to have a new phone for you to get, because you signed up for that membership. And when they created iPhone for Life, they basically committed themselves to always coming up with a new iPhone, because you're always going to want one because you're paying for that membership, if you think about it. So it can be a recurring purchase offering. It can be something that you know people are going to buy over and over again. Again, like the iPhone. Like I have an iPhone 13, so I think the current iPhone is the 14. I have an iPhone 13, and I bought this phone outright. I paid for it, in cash, so I don't have the membership. I actually own this device, because I don't like some people, when they finish with their iPhones, you turn in the old iPhone, you get some cash towards the new phone and all that. I don't like doing that. I actually like keeping my phones, because I use these phones as I basically use them as extra cameras. So I have an iPhone, what is this? I think it's the iPhone 12 that I use pretty much as my media camera. And then I have the iPhone 13, which is my current actual phone. And then when it's time for me to get a new phone, which I'll probably do at the end of this year, with the iPhone 14 or 15, whatever the current phone is at that time, I'll start using this current iPhone 13 as another media camera. So I have two. I have the iPhone 12, and the 13 is basically old phones that I use as cameras. And then I'll have my actual phone that's activated with a data plan and connected to T-Mobile, Sprint, whatever company they are now. And that'll be what I take my phone calls and text messages and all that stuff on. The whole point is, I brought that up just to say I'm going to buy another iPhone. That's the point. It's a product that somebody will buy over and over again. So think about something like your electric bill, or a gym membership, or your car insurance. How often do you pay for those things? Every month they charge you. Or you may pay several months in advance, but it's a membership. It's a recurring charge. This is why many people who build big businesses do so on recurring revenue products. And again, this doesn't have to be some big brand name. Some of you who are listening to this are in these spaces. Anybody here working insurance, rental real estate, pharmaceuticals, anything that has to be bought over and over again. So rental real estate, every month you got to pay rent. Insurance, every month or every year you're paying the insurance. If you're in mortgages, for example, is something that is recurring, because there's always somebody buying a home, and mortgages can last a long time. It can be several years that people are on a mortgage, and they're paying it over and over and over again. You can have several of them, and you can get like things like insurance. You have residuals. So I know a lot of people who built businesses on insurance because of the residuals. So you can retire and still be making money off that insurance, off that book of business that you built, because of the residuals. And residuals just means money that you're making for work that you already did in the past. you want to think about this, any of you who's building a business, because at some point you may want to leave your business, and at some point you're going to die. So you don't want everything in your business to die with you. You want to have some residual, i.e. money that's still coming in based on work you did in the past. So anything that has to be bought over and over again. Now, your business doesn't have to be this, but you need to know what your core offering is. That's the point here on point number 2. So I gave you a lot of extra stuff there that hopefully I didn't put you all too deep into the weeds. But you need to know what your core offering is. What's your core offering? The main thing that you want people to come to, no matter what level they're at or what level they come in at. What's the main thing you want them to buy? That's the question here for your core offering. Your core offering should be one thing, not 10 things. What is your core thing? Number 3, today's topic once again is the main things that your business needs. Number 3, a marketing system. Keyword, system. What is marketing? Marketing is the communication and relationship, and subsequently the relationship that you build with your audience and with your prospective audience. Those are people who may become customers, but they're not customers yet. Question is, for marketing systems, how do you consistently get new people to know about you and your core offering? That's what marketing is. Marketing is about the relationship you have with your audience and your ability to communicate with them what you have, what you're doing, and why they should care. That's what marketing is. The relationship you have with your audience and people that you're bringing into the audience, and your ability to communicate with them what you have, what you're doing, why they should care. Hey, I got this new program called Work on Your Game University. It is the only place you can be coached by me. You should care because you want to work with me directly. You already listened to my show, and I will help you with your mindset, strategy, systems, and execution. That's marketing. Now, the more consistently I do that, and if I have a process for doing it over and over and over again, then I have a marketing system. And since I teach systems and I talk about marketing a lot, I have a marketing system. When you have a system for marketing, folks, and you have a list, and you have a core offering, guess what you have? Business. Assuming that all these things work together and you actually get somebody to give you money. Then you have a business. You even have a business that with these in place, you can pass your business off or possibly sell it to someone else, assuming that you have these things in place. Now, there are some details that go into this, let's be clear. But assuming you have these in place, you at least have the foundational pieces, the skeletons of a business that could be handed off to, let's say, your kids or sold to somebody else, meaning you are not stuck in your business and only you can do it. If you have a system for selling things, you have a list of people to sell to, and you have a core thing for them to actually buy when you have these things. So if you plan on passing your business off to somebody else or you want to sell your business, you got to have all 3 of these pieces. Otherwise, how can somebody else run your business? Well, they can't. They can take your business and they can kind of do it. They can do all that work themselves, but then, well, how much are they going to pay you for your business? I mean, you don't really have anything because they have to do all the work. So, I mean, you could technically still pass it off, but who will want to take it? And if they do, what are they going to give you for it? You may not have much. But depending on how you negotiate and your ability to understand what your assets actually are, even if you don't have these pieces, you could still do that. So I just want to throw that caveat out there. But if your business is going to be worth anything, you need these pieces in place already up front. If any of you has ever thought about possibly selling your business. Point number 4. Today's topic, once again, is the main things that your business needs. Point number 4. So, in your business, you just consistently be looking at these 3 things. These are 3 things you should be consistently looking at. Number 1, how can I continually build my list? That means how can I continually get new people coming into my world and knowing about me and wanting to know more? That's how you build a list. Number 2, what is my core offering? And is it giving people the value that it should be giving them? What's my core thing that I want to give people? And am I giving people value when they get the core thing? Because if your core thing is working, you should keep selling the core thing, whatever that core thing happens to be. And number 3, what is my system for continually marketing and selling my core offering and other offerings, if you have other offerings, to the people who may be interested? Those are the 3 things you should be looking at in your business on a consistent basis. So let's recap today's class, which is the main things your business needs. As you build your business, again, there are many things that could distract you, throw you off track, have you chasing down things that don't need to be chased. So today's about simplifying, keep you focused on the main things. Here they are. Number 1, have a list. All the money is in the list. The list is simply people who have given you permission to contact them. They've given you their contact information. Phone number, email address, physical address. Those are contact informations. Number 2, a core offering. What is the core thing that you want people to get into? Amazon has Prime, Apple has the iPhone, Baldwin has Work on Your Game University. Let's say Land Rover has the Range Rover. All right, it can be a thing that people buy every now and then. It can be something somebody may only buy every 10 years. But what is that core offering that you want to get people into? It can be a recurring purchase offering. You see a lot of people do this in small businesses, because recurring purchases means that they have to keep buying over and over again. This means you have a steady stream of consistent income as long as your product and service is actually good. Number 3, a marketing system. How do you consistently get people to know about you, new people to know about you? This is about the relationship you have with your audience and your ability to communicate them what you have, what you're doing, why they should care. And also not just new people, let me be clear, it's also maintaining the relationships with the people that you already have. Because as they say in sales, the second money is easier to collect than the first money. Meaning selling to someone who already knows you is easier than selling to someone who doesn't know you. And number 4, you should be consistently looking at these 3 things. How can I keep building my list? What's my core offering? Is it giving people value? And what's my system for continually marketing my stuff to other people? All of that is the building blocks, foundational pieces of you having a business. All that said, text me so you can get my daily motivation message every day for free. My number is 305-384-6894. And workonyourgameuniversity.com. That is the only place where you can go, you need to go, to work with me directly, to be coached by me. If this, what I'm talking about here, is something that sounds like you need it, you know you need it in your business, maybe you feel like you're doing it, but you're not quite sure, you want to get it right before your time runs out, or anything else you heard me talk about on this show. You heard me speak about it for 20, 30 minutes a day when it comes to mindset, strategy, systems, execution, when it comes to people skills, content creation, selling yourself. Anything not only that you heard me talk about, but what you see me doing. I mean, I'm putting this on display every single day here on the show and on every other social platform that you see me publishing on. All of that is happening at, again, workonyourgameuniversity.com. Again, workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work on your game. Dre all day.